What a great honor it is to be with General Yablon, who and I once flew the same type of airplane. The difference is that he used to shoot people down and I got shot down. So, but other than that, and I also want to tell you that I've watched a number of senators come to the United States Senate. This senator from New York has done a magnificent job in defense of the state of Israel and defense of freedom. And
he's so kind.
We recently had an encounter with the president of Egypt over some of the remarks that he had previously made, and I can assure you he will not forget the senator from New York from that encounter. I'm very proud of her. What's happening in Iran, obviously the centrifuges are spinning. The latest effort at conciliation and some kind of agreement with the Iranians have failed, and it's very clear that they are on the path to having a nuclear weapon. And I don't think it's a question of whether, it's obviously a question of when. We have one of the most foremost experts, my dear and my hero, Ehud Barak, who is very well aware of this issue. Look, the Iranians are watching what happened in Korea, North Korea. They just set off another nuclear device. We made concession after concession under both Bush and Obama administrations, and it turned into failure. So, Dan, I know we have a short amount of time. I think that this latest offer on the part of the United States and our allies was doomed to failure, and if in Tehran, I think it is viewed as a weakness because of additional concessions. But it is vitally important that in Tehran they understand that the United States, that there is no space between the United States and Israel, that there is no space between the two countries. And I'm going to give you a little straight talk. They believe right now in Tehran that there is space between the two countries. If there's one thing that I would hope that the president's re-election would motivate him to work more closely with the Israeli government and take concerted action if that action is necessary, if it is necessary. Thank you, Dan.
Senator Gillibrand, let me just pick up on where Senator McCain left off. It is true that there can be no daylight between the U.S. and Israel when dealing with Iran. But what about the rest of the world, the international community? You've seen this in some of the work you've dealt with helping Israel in the UN. What can the U.S. Congress and the administration do to reduce this perception that Israel and America are at it alone?
Well, as a member of Congress, we have used that platform as a way to not only show our commitment to Israel, but make the statement that our fundamental securities are intertwined. Our national security is intertwined with Israel's. And so, for example, we have a resolution from last week that basically says we will stand by Israel, both economically and militarily, with regard to Iran. When the UN makes statements, and it's all
right to clap.
When the UN makes statements, particularly the Human Rights Council, we have to stand up to them. So whether it means we are standing against Durban 2 or Durban 3, we lead those letters out of the Senate. Whether it's decrying the Goldstone report, whether it's standing up for Israel's right not only to prevent the flotilla from crossing, but to actually has a duty to do so. Those statements have to be made immediately by American leaders, because I agree with Senator McCain, there should be no sunlight, and we have to continue to show that we are hand in hand as allies and as friends, as fundamentally committed to not only Israel's security, but United States national security.
Great.